Fighting out of the red corner. Dealing with delirium of being up at 5 a.m. for a flight from Belfast to do a podcast with a guest that has not shown up. It's weighing in at 89.9 kilograms. Vittorio Angelone. And fighting out of the blue corner. Struggling with having smashed up his phone this week and the chaos that has ensued since.
Oh, lad. This is, I've had maybe the worst, like, last 14 hours of my life. Like, just, so there's a few things going on. So I've had...
1 second. Come along, is that the wonkiest camera in the world, or am I imagining things?
We don't need this come long. Not today.
Not today. Nobody's on fighting for him
I'm on
today.
an absolute razor's edge today. Fuck me.
Anything could send you over the edge.
Yeah.
Jamali threatened to flash you before the podcast started.
Lad, I would have stuck my head through the window. I couldn't have. What the hell? No way. Jesus Christ. Talk about fucking sending me haywire.
So everyone's fighting fit today.
Lad.
I'm on 2 hours sleep.
2 hours?
Yeah.
Fuck. I mean, yeah.
And then a flight's worth of sleep.
Right.
And it was a nice British Airways, so I could kind of...
But sometimes, you have like 2 hours and then for no fucking reason at all, you have loads of energy.
You're the most productive you've ever been. Do you ever have those hangover days where you do all your admin and you're like, maybe I should just be hungover all the time?
Right. I've actually never had that, but yeah.
You've never had like a mad productive 2 hours sleep. You just like get everything done. Because there's nothing in the way. Like you can't procrastinate if your brain isn't working.
But you know what it is? This is where we'd have a difference. I've definitely had hungover days where my brain is working really well, but I would not choose to apply it to admin. Because
I'm tidy in the house. I'm doing all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
I'm on top of it.
I might do stuff like that, like little kind of chores that I can get done. They're nice to do.
Little manual tasks.
Yeah.
Where there's not a lot of brain involved. You're just like, that goes over.
Yeah.
Emptying the dishwasher is good on a hangover. There's a lot of bending over. You kind of get the
that's right.
Of that, the sinuses in the head.
Yeah, there is. But then you see a plate that's just still kind of dirty and you're like, what the fuck am I paying you for?
To the dishwasher.
Yeah. You fucking... What's happening? Were we on?
I had that right and you fucked it up.
Nope, you had 1, 2, and 3 live.
I had 1, 3, and 4 live.
Nope.
No.
I promise I changed it.
Well, I didn't touch it.
So we weren't on.
No, we were on. We were on.
Static, but I can...
That's gone now. There's no
Everything's
static
okay.
now.
There's no static.
Right.
We're on the move.
Let that be the last thing that happens.
At
on this
all, not even a bad thing. Just let that be the last event of this podcast.
Yeah, event of time.
We're not up to it today.
Listen.
We were hoping to lean on a guest pretty heavily.
An autistic guest. But
hey,
now...
Whoa, that doesn't narrow it down at all.
No, not really.
It's a very... So when did you smash your phone and how did you smash your phone?
Look, let me bring you back in time.
I'd like to remind you that all of this is your fault.
Fuck you, brother. Listen, I'm going to need some, and I swear to God, here's what I'm going to ask you to do. Because beep, boop, 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 you're going to hear my story. Now, you're going to, a million times during the story, you're going to see the obvious solutions in your little fucking calculator head. And you're going to say, but why didn't you do this? Refrain from that. Empathize.
Can I give a little look to the camera?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want to the camera.
Okay.
Yeah.
But just don't vocally tell you where you went wrong.
No.
Okay. So just Jim from The Office vibes.
Yeah, Jim from The Office vibes. I'm Dwight Schrute, and I'm just yammering on about my fucking cousin on my farm. And you're Jim.
You've got real Schrute vibes, actually. Schrute's like a combination of both of us. You're yammering on about your cousin and your farm, and I'm beep bop boop boop.
Yeah, do you know what? Schrute, I'm trying to think. Neither of us, I suppose, are that kind of like, Schrute does love a rule and he is a fucking rat bag. You know what I mean?
And I think we both have that thing that lots of comedians have, real problems with authority.
I don't like it one bit.
Don't you fucking dare tell me what to do.
Fuck off. Fuck you, brother. Lad, I've been one of the prickliest individuals in the whole like larger Holloway Road Finsbury Park area this morning. Like I have been like a fucking ticking time bomb. But anyway,
just a wee cactus walking up the road.
Oh lad, I'm so full of fucking anger, spite, and just genuine, like just searing fucking deep dark frustration. Just
Do you ever find some kind of enjoyment of that when you're in a real pissed off day?
I mean, I would if it wasn't for the fact that there's just so many little problems and none of them are being solved and people are being so fucking useless and not helping me. And just like, it's the biggest case of just fucking one Weasley coward after another passing the book. They pass it around so much, it ends up coming back to them. They've got the book again and they still just pass it around. So here's what happened.
This is the phone stuff. And your phone,
Yeah.
can we preempt this and say, your phone was already a bit fucked up?
The screen on my phone has been in trouble. I got a new screen in Kilkenny in June. I went to a wedding. I had to go to this wedding. I had broke my screen, so I went into a shop. I got a new screen. It was quite expensive. It was like €170. Some people said, you should just buy a new phone. I said, shut the fuck up. I'm getting a new screen. And so anyway, I comes back the next day. I have the new screen on my phone. The screen is a stupid screen. Does not really work. But I have to go to this wedding, so I only find out on the way to the wedding. I'm not coming back to Kilkenny now for a couple of months. So
You can't go back to the Kilkenny phone screen shop.
No, it's done. This is my screen. Now, what this new screen will do is just sometimes it'll just go, for no reason, I'm dead, and it'll just go black. It won't work. So sometimes when you have to like pay for something or you're waiting around or you have to show someone a ticket and the screen just goes, no.
Just does solidarity with Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, it shows the black square, George Floyd,
You got one of
whatever.
those woke phone screens.
Yeah.
It takes a knee.
Yeah, that's right. Well, yeah, believes in they, them, whatever. So the screen is doing that. There's no rhyme or reason to it. Just sometimes, often when I need it most, it'll just be like,
Yeah.
I don't work. And you just press, it doesn't matter how much you press it.
Goes for a nap.
It's just going to come back when it wants to come back. Other times, what it does, you'll be there, you might be on, Instagram looking up pictures of someone you shouldn't. Next thing, the phone just goes, I'm Harvey Two-Face now. Half the fucking screen just goes, turns into like a static TV, and the other half is like, I'm still fine. And I'm like, well, yeah, I need both of you for this phone to
I need
work.
to see both tits.
I need to see both tits. I'm only seeing one fucking tit.
A solo tit is kind of unattractive.
Well, I think on its own, if we really break down a tit, I mean, it's just a piece of fat with a weird little thing on it.
Yeah.
And it has no inherent value, but just put...
A piece of fat with a dimmer switch.
Yeah. Little dimmer switch on it. Yeah.
That's all it is. But then together there's a nice symmetry.
That's right.
They look like eyes. They look like,
Well, this is it. It's like Hall and Oates. Remember Hall and Oates?
Daryl Hall and the other one.
Michael Oates, yeah.
Michael Oates.
And it's like, as a rich girl, da-na-na-na-na, and you know it don't matter anyway. Rich, you're gonna rely on the old man's money, and then they on the old man's money, and a rich, and then they've like private eyes are watching you. They've loads of songs, you know.
Making my dreams come true.
Yeah, they're class. But so they're an example. Hall Notes. Yeah, it's such a feel-good banger. They also have a song that's lesser known called She's Gone. That's a real great little like heartbreak ballad. But anyway, so those boys together, big hit machines, doing great. Then they go their separate ways. Sure, not one of them can do anything with, you know what I mean? For no reason. They're like two separate tits. They can't, they're of no inherent value by themselves.
Yeah, but then, because they are often compared to Simon and Garfunkel. And everyone says Garfunkel was kind of useless and Paul Simon was the real talent behind all that, the songwriter type fella.
Well, that's because after they broke up, Simon continued to be
amazing.
Yes, and Garfunkel, I think, worked in a Subway or something. So that one, the proof was in the pudding.
Yeah.
Whereas Hall and Oates, they separated and they were both working in Subway. You know what I mean?
They're both sandwich artists.
They were both sandwich artists for the rest of their lives.
You were a sandwich artist, or did I make that up from my head?
You made that up in your head
Okay.
there. But it's certainly not something that would have been above me. I did worse jobs than that. But anyway, so Saturday night, I'm down in St. Helens doing this gig, Dan Nightingale and Fiends. Anyway, I'm leaving the I'm leaving the venue. I'm getting lift back into Liverpool. Now we're getting the lift back in, and I'm
Good gig?
yeah, really, really nice gig. Went well. I was afraid. I was like, these guys are going to try bite my feet, or the audience were quite.
St. Helens is rough as all fuck.
Yeah, they seemed the audience just seemed they're all capable. I respect that. I don't like.
They all have real jobs.
Yeah,
where they lift things.
Where they lift things and they fucking
sell vapes.
They sell they sell vapes. They all seem like they do well in rugby scrum. If war landed in St. Helens, let me tell you, the Russians wouldn't have it easy.
Although the type of rugby they play in St. Helens doesn't really have a scrum in the same way.
What
big rugby league heads in St. Helens rather than rugby union.
Is that right?
Yeah. And they don't really have scrums.
Isn't rugby league is kind of like, is that like
the northern working class,
right? And they just
sell of rugby,
fucking split each other, do they? Like what are they even doing in rugby league? I don't even have it. Like rugby league kind of upsets me a little bit. It just seems, no offense to everyone involved, but utter dog shit.
It is. I mean, you're not even a rugby union fan. Maybe,
but the game of rugby union is good. It just happens to be occupied by genuinely the most evil, horrible people that have ever lived.
Beautiful souls.
Play the game.
Trying their best.
Like, genuinely, the biggest crowd of deranged rapists that have ever been assembled on Earth have decided to play the game. But it's a good game.
Is this just at the elite level, or is just throughout?
No, I think you'll find some. I think you'll find
grassroots rapists.
Well, yeah, everywhere. I mean, it prevails all levels of society. That activity. It's a truly classless endeavor.
In a way, it's very progressive.
In a way, because the richest do it, the poorest do it, the middle class. There's
not women though.
Huh?
Not women though.
What you mean?
They don't do it.
Ah, they do, yeah.
Nah.
Ah, they do. It's just no one ever, it's actually probably frustrating because, they'll do it and then, the guy will just be like, well, that was class. So.
Yeah, I have so many mates who have stories of like, oh, I just didn't really want to say no, so I didn't want to upset her, so I just had sex with her.
Yeah.
Because she seemed keen on it.
Yeah.
And that's rape.
It's not. No, but
you just went along with it because you didn't feel like at liberty to say no?
No, that's not.
Rape.
It's not.
That's rape. If you didn't feel like you had the option of saying no,
you're wrong. No, you're wrong, because it's not that he just didn't want the awkward thing. He could have said fucking no. Like, it was just easier to ride her in that moment, is what he's saying. I think that's different than fearing for your safety with saying no. I don't think...
Yeah, but it's still technically rape.
I don't think it is, though, technically at all. I think you're just absolutely flat out wrong.
Technically it is.
No, it's not, because he could have fucking said no. He didn't say no. There was no threat to his fucking...
But he didn't say yes.
Huh?
But he didn't say yes.
Well,
it's all about enthusiastic consent, Michael.
Well, look, at the end of the day, if you're gonna have coitus, why did I say that? That's upset me. But if you're gonna, at some point, the penis has to say yes. That's the difference.
The body and the mind and the heart are different things.
Well, sometimes they align.
Yeah, and sometimes they don't.
Right, but what I'm saying...
An erection is not consent, Michael.
No, but what you know well now, you're being...
That's just blood.
Huh?
That's just blood. You can't trust blood.
You can't trust blood, brother. Who did a joke? Dan Tiernan did a joke yesterday on Live at Apollo about... I don't know why this reminded me of it, but did you ever see that joke where he's looking at a beer and it says like
the names of these craft beers?
Yeah, but the
sex without consent.
Is wrong or whatever, and then that's on the side of a beer, and he's like, the names of these IPAs are just getting out of control.
Yeah.
And then like. Also, the idea that you, like a rapist, would just be drinking and you see it and you just be like, fuck, and then just be like, I know everyone else says it, but when the beer says it, I listen.
Yeah.
Beer, like,
it's such a great bit. I hope it makes the edit.
Yeah, it is such a great bit.
Congratulations to Dan Tiernan.
Dan Tiernan, he fucking smashed it. He absolutely smashed it. He was jumping into the crowd.
Smashed it like a phone screen.
Absolutely. Well, you didn't need to bring it back to my heartbreak and tragedy there. That was quite nasty.
We'll come back to Live at the Apollo in a bit.
So here's first off, just to put a line under what you said is absolutely ridiculous. If a lad just goes along with riding a woman to avoid the awkwardness of saying no, she has not raped that man. All right? That's just not true. So we're just putting a line under that because that's so dumb. What do you mean, flip it?
If a girl just goes along with riding a fella
Yeah.
Because she didn't feel comfortable saying no.
If she just went along with it because she just felt, I didn't want to hurt his feelings, that doesn't make him a rapist. He didn't know come on. That's for those people to say, hey, don't go along with something you don't want to do. Say no.
Big victim blaming.
What?
Big victim blaming
It's not
from Michael
big victim
Rice.
blaming. No.
Big victim blaming from Michael Rice.
It depends. It would be like, that's like if they didn't feel comfortable to say no because he had a fucking gun out. Yeah. Then fair enough, all right?
Such an extreme scenario.
So he has a fucking
Where's the line?
AK-47
So
now.
there's a line somewhere between awkwardness and gun?
Yeah, there is, all right? It's
Knife.
well, it's you're either being coerced into it or you're not, isn't it? But awkwardness is not a coercion.
BB gun.
Huh?
BB gun?
BB cave gun?
BB gun.
What, like, is that what he's going to, like, the little stingers?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think that is still not good if you're like, I'll shoot you with this if you don't suck me off. I think that's bad.
Slingshot?
Right? I think any violence is bad.
Okay, so any weapons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any weapons, but like, you know, I think if you're verbalizing conditions of a negative response, like if you're saying, well, if you don't, then I'm gonna fucking, you know, shit in a bucket and throw it on your mother's head. Whatever. If you're doing any conditions, that's bad. If you're verbalizing conditions, okay?
But is some of it not implied?
Well, fuck implication. Yeah, but then we're just dealing in the fucking ethereal netherworld of nothingness that we can never really put our finger on.
You're very head up about this.
Well, I'm head up about everything. I've had the worst 14 hours of my life.
But I'm just concerned that you're very head up about this idea that I've said that a man not feeling comfortable saying no maybe would imply that he's not consenting fully or enthusiastically, which would be considered rape. It makes me feel like you're worried that you've been raped.
I have been raped so many times. It's unbelievable. And I don't want to have to chat about it now. And you've brought up stuff that's made me feel uncomfortable. I think, yes, I think sometimes you do go along with things. And I have gone along with things at times where, and you think, wait, maybe I wish I hadn't. But that's also, that would have been up to me to fucking, say, hey, Miss O'Flaherty, that's enough. All right, I don't care how much chocolate pudding you're promising.
So it's a carrot and stick problem. If it's a carrot, it's okay. If it's a stick, it's bad.
Yeah.
If they're offering gifts.
I think if someone offers a gift and
like
you...
a small cake.
Like a small cake, and they say, hey, listen, if I give you this small cake, can I, ride you like Shergar? And you kind of go, and you kind of giving it... I mean, that's fine. That's the free market. Isn't it?
That's prostitution.
Well, a little
Can you
bit.
exchange fucking for like goods that aren't money? Is that allowed?
Of course.
Like, but then...
But that's life is what that is.
Prostitution's illegal.
Yeah.
But then giving them a small cake is okay.
Giving them a small cake, I think, is fine. Is nice. But I think a lot, like if you think about it, I mean, you could go into it any way you want, but like...
buying dinner, buying a car, paying
That's
the
right.
bills.
That's right.
Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo.
That's right.
A lot of women these days, I don't know if you're stumbling into this and you're singledom. A lot of women these days just like there's a perception that just like the guy should just pay for absolutely everything.
These
You
days.
see these women on the internet saying like, went out for dinner with my friends and my boyfriend and he didn't offer to pay for all of us. And it's like, yeah.
Yeah. Well, so what those women, I'd imagine the woman saying this, I mean, must just be mind-blowingly hot.
You would hope.
You would have
hope.
to be. You would have to be. Now, she'd have to be mind-blowingly hot. Now, there is that scene at the start of Triangle of Sadness, which is an interesting one.
Now, I'll tell you something that you won't.
I know.
You won't believe.
I know you haven't seen it. I know that. You've not seen anything. Anything you have seen, you've the wrong opinion on. So I'm glad you haven't seen it because you would have just said something dumb about it. Fact.
Triangle of Sadness sounds like it's right up my street.
Lad,
Shapes and sadness?
Yeah, actually, to be honest, it was like it was just made for you, just custom made for you.
I saw a triangle and I cried.
I saw a triangle and I cried.
It's been a while since we've done that impression.
Oh yeah, we need to bring it back. I mean, people, it's been a while since we've done it, but it's still firmly
In the lexicon.
In the lexicon, people like bring it up to me still a lot, you know. Or if they've seen a play, they'll write to me and be like, I saw a play. Vittorio would have cried, ha ha ha. You know, that kind of
It's
thing.
good stuff, and you should keep doing it.
I like it. It was, I suppose, especially the start of the podcast. Fuck me, the start of the podcast. It was just a real staple, and I will bring it back. But see, the thing is, I saw a play and I cried, and then we had your racism is bad, and then in your last show it was like I got bullied and I cried, and then I'm just waiting for the next one. You know what I mean? In your next show, which is
to be fair, I've done a couple work in progresses. I don't cry at any point.
really.
Although in one of the stories I do cry, I just haven't said it on stage.
Yet.
Yeah.
You'll bring it in.
Oh yeah, it's you know, you got to give people what they want. If you come and see my show and I don't cry at any point during the show,
Yeah.
in one of the stories, people will walk away going, well, what the fuck was the point of that?
Well, they'll just be like, he lied. That wasn't true. We know, we've listened to the stories. That lad had cry at the fucking, you know, flip of a fucking coin. Of course he cried. You know?
Which really isn't true.
Oh, no,
I don't cry very much. I think that's why it comes up in shows, because it's kind of has to be quite a big thing to make me cry.
You do cry. Come on now. I've seen you crying.
When was the last time I cried?
Liverpool? When you were crying then?
That was a while ago now. That's months ago.
That was 3 weeks ago now, is it? You were bawling.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
And you were trying to console me while on loads of cocaine.
That's right.
And you weren't great at it.
I thought I was doing all right, but
Yeah, because you were on cocaine.
no, you were fucking.
I was crying and you were saying we should start another podcast. It was
I
crazy.
did not say that. I was being fucking. Actually, in fact, now the more I think of it, I was actually fantastic in that moment. And I said, listen, I was geeing you up. I was saying you should run for president. I was saying you're gonna be so big and have so much money. It was very cokey. My response to your sadness
I was
was
sad. I was like, oh, but you were like, money, but you'll have money, you see. It's like, I'm really dealing with emotional struggles right now. But you'll buy your way out of those surely one day.
Think of all the stock shares. Think of all the.
Think of the interest rates, Vittorio. You're not considering the interest rates.
You clearly haven't considered the interest rates, judging by the negative reaction you're showing here, because you'd be smiling ear to ear, brother. The forecast is good. But yeah, so I'm going to bring us back to the.
Yes,
so
the phone.
I was in
You're
St.
in
Helena.
St. Helena.
St. Helena. Now, of course, this particular gaff, like I said, my phone for the last few months has been a nightmare. And this is just classic Mike. Instead of just going and getting a new screen or buying a new phone,
putting it off.
I just start living in a world where this is my life. My name's Mike and I have a phone that turns itself off.
I have a feeling, I think I've just figured out one of the great mysteries of Michael Rice. Because one of the truly strange things about you, and it came up in a recent episode, is that you meditate every day.
Yeah.
And one can only imagine what kind of state you'd be in if that wasn't happening. I think you might be meditating, because a lot of meditating is like about accepting external factors.
That's right. No,
and
lack of
focusing
resistance.
on your internal response to them. I think you're doing a touch too much accepting of the external factors in your life. The things that you can change, you should.
Listen, I hear what you're saying. It's not the dumbest thing you've ever said. Yes, I possibly am doing too much of that. And
like when you're meditating, you're going, it's okay that my phone doesn't work properly in any real sense.
I'll tell you what it is. And I don't know why this is with me. And people have a lot. I've been getting a lot lately that I have ADHD.
It's not a death sentence anymore.
Which I'm loving. which I'm loving because then it's like, you know, I can jump on the little like, oh, I'm damaged or whatever. And,
Yeah, fun.
you know, and we can all jump into that little pool of give us grants from the government because I can't concentrate. But so I have a thing where, yes, I have a problem whereby I start to forget that I am me and I am the author of my own life and existence, and I believe life is happening to me. So I actually just accept what are in fact changeable things in my life. I accept them as just fact. So a few years ago, for example, I had ran out of socks. And I didn't know where the socks had gone, and it was very upsetting to me. And I genuinely would talk to people. They'd be like, how are you? I'd be like, I have very few socks left. I don't know what's going on. And they were like, all right. And people would listen to me for a while, and they'd be like, oh, okay. And then I was like, yeah, I don't know what happened to socks. I don't know. I literally don't know where they went, but I just had fuck all socks now. Till one person said, they're like, just get more socks. You can buy more socks. And I had genuinely forgotten you could do that. I had somehow in my mind, no joke, I had in some way believed I'd been given my quota of socks and I'd squandered them. And now I was to live my life.
But I think this is your meditation gone wrong.
Yeah.
You're just accepting a life with no socks.
I just didn't have the mental agility to realize I can change the course of history.
Yes, your pendulum swing is too far in the acceptance
That's right.
way. Like, accept things that you can't. What's that phrase? Give me this something to accept the things, the strength to change the things I can.
Yeah.
And the wisdom to tell the difference. I don't think you've managed to tell the difference between the things you can and can't change.
Listen, I agree with you. I was in...
And what's the plan? The phone's getting fixed in some other fucking clapped up shop?
No, listen now. Listen to what's happened to me. And I just, on that point, I had a thing there a while ago where I was... Like, this will give you an example of my mind frame and my lack of mental agility.
Now, you've taken up a kung fu pose to tell this story?
Yes, because I'm fucking psyched out. I'm trying to battle life right now, and I think I'm being attacked by so many invisible enemies.
Your ops are plotting your demise?
Oh, lad, it's unbelievable. I'm fucking sick of this earth. Everywhere they're trying to get me. So I was in like Lidl, right? And I was coming to the...
You haven't been this deranged in a long time.
Lad,
I'm really quite enjoying it.
I'm on half the dose on the sweeties. I'm already sleeping worse. Anyway, it's all... I just can't... I must move back to the farm. Listen, it's been an experiment. Me living in London has been an experiment
Back
that's
in the big
failed.
city, and it's just it's run its course.
Absolutely, and I've no one kind of with tabs on me either because I'm single and I haven't even been doing anything. I haven't even been dating anyone or anything I don't have time. I'm too unorganized to even fit that in. I didn't even know we had this pod today. I only found out
when I had to email you.
You had to email me about it, and I saw the email today. I was like, "You're fucking joking me."
Can I flag something that if I had lost my phone, I would check my emails all the time?
Yeah. We're different people. And
I thought that because I've emailed you a couple of things since your phone has been fucked up.
Yeah.
And I'm just going, he's checking this once a day, the mad cunt.
I'd say maybe twice a day. I've not been checking it much. I've just really been zoned out completely. But so I was in Lidl the other day. This is my mindset. And I was there and I was in the queue for the self-checkout. And I was like, I looked at my bag. I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, oh, I forgot to get ham. And I wanted to get ham. I love ham. And then I was like, fuck's sake.
I love ham.
Yeah, I love ham. And then anyway, I was like, this is fucking bullshit. Anyway, I go through the whole thing, beep, 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 boop, into my bags. And the whole way home, I was like, fuck's sake, I forgot the ham. And then I only realized when I got home, I realized I didn't have the ham when I was in the shop.
Yeah.
I could have just 30-second walk and get the ham. But I was so sold on the narrative that I'd forgotten the ham that I wasn't able to... Do you know what I mean?
Is it a self-esteem thing?
How is that self-esteem about ham?
But I mean, like, you don't think you deserve a ham?
How is that what you're getting from this? That's the dumbest analysis of what I've just said to you.
There's got to be some kind of something subconscious going on that means there's a reason that you didn't even realise that you were in the ham place.
Can't I just be stupid? I'm really
No,
dumb.
because you're a clever man.
In some ways.
What ways?
I don't know. I was hoping you'd say. Listen. So
We got facts and figures. You know all about different religions and stuff.
I know facts and figures.
You know the death toll of everything.
I know death tolls. I know I'm able to put, I think, ideas together. I'm good at writing and things. And I can talk cleverly on some subjects and things like that have no use. Anything that's no use, I will.
This kind of stuff.
This stuff. That's where I'll.
It's a miracle we've monetized this.
That's where I'll blossom. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not, because this is, you know what I mean? I'm a black belt in fucking, you know what I mean?
Motormouth.
Yeah!
Just saying things.
Yeah! That's great. It's but when I have to do things. That's where things get tough.
You're a talker.
Oh, yeah.
A little less conversation, a little more action.
I don't like that song. I hate it. I don't like its message. In fact, I say less of the actions,
more conversations.
more conversations.
Let's talk about this a bit more.
Let's talk
figure
about
out
it.
what we're going to do, and then by the time we figure it out,
that's right.
the deadline is passed for action.
Yes.
And then we move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Which was caused by us not doing anything about the first thing.
Yes.
That's your vibe.
That's right. Now, you've been first-hand witnesses to my baboonery. Obviously, when we were in Dublin and I had a key in my pocket and that kind of thing.
That was a good one.
That was a good one.
We were staying at an Airbnb in Dublin. I think we told this story on the podcast.
We did at the time,
and we were halfway to airport or venue?
Venue.
Halfway to the venue for the show in a cab. And somebody said, did we lock the door? And then we went, well, we don't have the key, so we can't have locked the door because you had to lock it with the key from the outside.
That's right.
And we're like, oh, God, had they asked the Uber to turn around, go back to the place. Comlong and I are frantically searching the Airbnb for this,
for the
key.
Yeah.
And then young Michael Rice walks in and goes, what colour's the key?
Yeah.
And we go, yellow. And he goes, is it this one?
You said yes. They've been in my pocket the whole time.
The whole time.
The whole time. Yeah, the entire time. And you know what? Things like that just wash off my back because it's not even unusual for me to do something. I'm just like, I accept that now.
You forgive.
I forgive myself. Instant forgiveness. Like Steph Curry shooting trees. But so this time in St. Helens, this is with the phone.
Okay, yes. So
first off,
the phone's been gradually dying.
No. So the
St. Helens gig goes well.
St. Helens gig goes well. Then afterwards, I'm like, right, see you later. We're heading back to Liverpool. I'm flying to Cork in the morning to do Chris Kent's festival in Ballycotton. Chris Kent, the greatest man that's ever lived. So I'm like, right, we're going back to Liverpool. On the way back to Liverpool, get a message from Dan. He's like, do you own the Waitrose bag of clothes that's in the dressing room? I was like, oh yeah, I do, yeah. They'd be mine. Absolutely.
Can we just discuss the fact
I've put clothes in a Waitrose bag?
Well, because it's like leaving your clothes or like a bag somewhere is one thing.
Yeah.
But to be carrying your clothes on a trip in a Waitrose bag.
Yeah.
You know Dan didn't text anyone else.
No.
Dan only had to text you. No matter, I don't know the lineup of this gig.
Yeah.
But you're the only person that he suspected
left his clothes in a Waitrose bag. Yeah.
And why did you bring your clothes in a Waitrose bag to the gig?
Because I needed to bring my clothes, and then I had my backpack, but I didn't want my clothes to touch, like, you know, my copybooks and my pens and stuff like that in my backpack. So then I was like, I'll put them in a Waitrose bag and I'll put that bag inside the bag and then everything will run real smooth. And didn't work out that way. So he says, is that Waitrose bag yours? I said, yeah, it is. And sometimes I have stuff in a little bag. I was like, glad I went Waitrose.
Yes,
And
classy, very classy.
that's right.
Very demure.
Very demure. Coco Chanel and Waitrose bags are really big in the autumn of 2024. So anyway, we go back full speed back to get my Waitrose bag of clothes.
And who's driving? Who have you just pissed off? How far out of St. Helens were you?
We were halfway there. We were halfway back.
To be fair, it's what, a 45-minute drive, maybe an hour drive?
So maybe not halfway back. We were maybe we had driven maybe 10 minutes away. 10 minutes or 10. Yeah, it wasn't crazy.
Okay, but still.
Yeah.
And who was driving?
Hattie.
Good.
Yes. Yeah. So anyway, so she was on the gig. She drives back. Let's not go into anything there.
Good.
Yes. She drives back.
I'm happy about all of this.
Yeah, of course you are. Now, so she drives back. We arrive back at the venue. I get out of the car. So I've made one mistake. I've left the Waitrose bag in the thing. And I was like, I'm hardly going to just make one mistake tonight. I get out. I don't even know how I do it. So I get out of the car and my phone just literally like a fucking, I coin toss it into the air. I'm like, why the fuck did I do that? Phone splats on the ground. Look at the phone. The whole thing is like the TV in The Ring, the movie, like, shh. I'm like, that's not good. That's not good at all. You know? So I pick it up. The phone is just absolutely goosed. No way back for the phone. I've already made this mistake. Now I have to go in to get my stupid little Waitrose bag with my stupid fizzing phone. Shh. And then Dan's like, oh, you all right, mate? I'm like, no. And he thinks I'm just annoyed I forgot to close it. That's the least of my... That's the best mistake I made tonight.
Yeah.
That's
salvageable.
That's salvageable. So anyway, I have to get the phone. Now, I'm flying to Cork first thing in the morning, right? So I have no way to get...
Do you have your laptop in your bag with your copybooks and pens?
No, I don't have it in with my copybooks and pens.
So you have nothing.
So I have nothing. So I end up having to print off my boarding pass and stuff to get to Cork the next day. I have to message from like Hattie's laptop, just message Chris Kent and say, I'm going to be arriving at this bus stop at this time tomorrow. I'm going to need you to be there. But by the time we're messaging that, it's about, I don't know, 12:30 at night. There's no response to it. I have to go into the airport the next day. I'm like gone at 7:30. So
it's very funny that you're interacting with Chris Kent, who's currently doing a show about doing an experiment where he goes offline for a month.
That's right.
And you've just accidentally ended up in the exact same scenario.
Doing the exact same scenario, not by some intention of trying to better myself or to, free myself from the internet, just by being a massive, big fucking idiot. So anyway, I messaged Chris, but I don't know if he's even got the message. So I'm just arriving at this bus stop, hoping and prayer, hope he's there. If he's not, no way to contact anyone.
That's so funny.
Crazy. So anyway, I do arrive there anyway, get off the fucking bus looking around. Well, bye. Kent is there. Nice.
Reliable.
Yeah.
Old, reliable Chris Kent.
He's a great boy. He's a great man. So anyway.
A real grown-up. One of those rare, like on the comedy circuit where he's just like head screwed on, sensible, doesn't get caught up in any of the gossip, any of the bullshit.
No.
You say something to him, he goes, well.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's just like, he just realized, I think it's because he was like on the tools as an electrician for such a long time, was a full-time comedian, then during pandemic had to go back to on the tools. He just has a real gratitude for where he's at and what he's doing.
He's one of the greatest men that's ever lived, truly one of the soundest men ever. He's the best comedian in Ireland.
An inevitable podcast guest.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. He turns over an hour of brilliant, no one's better than him. He's amazing at stand-up. It's just, he's fucking, I feel like a disgrace anytime I'm even on a bill with him, just with my out filth. And then just seeing him, he'll make a fucking 5-minute routine out of a fucking Petit Falou yogurt, and it'll be better than that than I've ever come up with in fifth. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, I don't know, I didn't need to put myself down to build him up, but he is brilliant.
He's just very good.
He's very good.
And Mike's good as well.
I'm good as well, I'm a day. But anyway, I think so. I never do that well in front of Chris, though, which really annoys me. Do you ever have someone like that? Do you have any people like that you're like
curses?
Just people that
bad luck charms, and you just know in your mind they don't think I'm good at this.
They've never seen me as good as I can be, and it's just they're like a fucking a curse, I suppose.
I think I have that with lots of people.
Yeah, it fucking kills me. Because it's like, can I show you a clip from another time?
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm in Cork, I have no phone.
So you get sorted out. You must have been buzzing when Chris was there.
I was. That was great. Me and Chris went back. We went to his house. We had a stew. I hung out with his kids. I was drawn.
Nice kids.
They're lovely
nice
kids.
House.
We played
nice stew, I'm sure.
That's right. We played a little game with his kids where I was on this little kind of drawing thing, and I draw things, and him, Evelyn and Jack, they'd have to guess who was the first person would have to guess what it was that I was drawing.
Pictionary.
Yeah, like Pictionary. Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Well, this is what we were playing. I thought I'd come up with it. But I draw a picture, they guess. But anyway, Jack was absolutely hammering Evelyn. Because to be fair, he's like 8, she's like 4 or something. But he was hammering her, but he insisted on keeping an exact score for half an hour. So it was like 32-3, and he kept like every time 34-3, and he didn't seem to think this was
no quarter.
No, absolutely not. And then I said, look, let's just start a new game. So we started a new game. Anyway, he's about 15, like 2 up. And then I said, look, right, I'm going to have to go. And then he said, so overall, he's like 32 plus 15. He's like 47-5 if you combine both scores. And your one was just kind of there looking sadly. But anyway, so I'm in Cork. We do the gigs. Everything's fine. I didn't love the gig that night. I didn't do as well as I should because I never.
That can be a tricky venue, see church.
It was
I
tricky.
find it tough.
And do you know what it was? The crowd was like very middle-aged and stuff. And I
found the same there. Yeah.
I tried to fucking be like, right, I'll do this Irish stuff then, like that I had written when I was in Ireland. This will work for them. And then it was just stuff I wasn't really excited about. And then I should have just done
when
what
you try to pander
right.
and it still doesn't work.
Oh,
that's the worst.
It's the worst.
I think that about so many comedians whose whole act is pandering.
Yeah.
Like when they bomb, it must feel awful.
Lad.
Because at least if you're doing what you want to do and what you find funny, and they don't like it, you go, okay, I feel bad, but you know.
Right.
It didn't line up tonight. But if your whole aim is for it to line up.
That's right. That's right. And it's cowardly, and I felt I was ashamed of myself, even though like it's like, you know, the material itself was all stuff that I once really liked, and it was like stuff, but the reasons I did it that night were just like, all right, this will be all stuff you can fucking jive with, you absolute turkeys. And then they didn't, and then I was like, oh, fuck's sake.
Yeah.
I should have done the pedo stuff.
Yeah.
I should have just called you pedos. You would have deserved it. And the funny thing is, then when I did lean into some stuff that was a bit edgier, that stuff started to fucking work. I was like, yeah, why the fuck didn't I do that from the... It was just... And I just felt like a fucking weasel afterwards.
Like often the only thing audiences don't like is when it feels inauthentic.
Right.
You just have to fucking...
That's right. You're right. You're right. And it's a lesson I learn again and again and again and forget again and again and again. And I'm a big... Anyway.
It's a long road.
It's a long road, brother. The long and winding road that leads to your door. Na 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 na, standing many roads before. Nice. So anyway, so next day I get back to London. I have no phone. So anyway, what I do is it's Monday.
So you fly back Cork to London. You print off boarding passes, maybe at Chris's or whatever.
Yeah.
Cool.
Get that done. Fly back next day, go to London, right? I say, right, fine. I'm going straight. There's a tree store down the road for me. I say, I'm just going to go down there. I'm just going to buy a new phone. I'm just going to get a new phone. Fuck it. This phone is a couple of years old anyway. Just chill out for a phone. I need a phone. So anyway, I goes in. I gets this lady who's chatting with me. I says, listen, I want a new phone. She's like, what do you want? I'm
Sorry,
like,
I just have to flag that when you said
What?
tree store for a second, I thought garden centre. Go on.
like just a store full of trees. I need a new phone. This is how truly incompetent I am. That
You at the home base.
you think that I call a forest the tree store?
You're so wrapped up in
Yeah.
capitalism.
Yeah.
You go to a park and you go, oh, this must be one of those trees. I'll take that one.
Oh, are any of you working? Just people walking their dogs? Who's working here today?
God,
at
very
the tree store?
understaffed here at the tree store.
So anyway, I goes in. I guess this lady. I says, look, I need a new phone, and they were like, right, we'll put you on a contract to pay for the phone. I said, I'll pay for it up front.
Yeah.
I'll give you the money.
You
now.
don't own me, you pigs. I own you.
I own you. Give me my phone. So she's like, right. I was like, look, I had a Pixel 6. Do I get some? I never know how these things work. I'm like, do I get an upgrade for some reason, or do you give me something for free now? Is that a thing? And she was like, no, I don't think so. I was like, oh, okay. And then then she's like, right, well, the Pixel AA is the kind of next one there, and it's this amount of money, is like 460 quid. I was like, right, grand, yeah, let's just get that. And then she's like, well, I'll have to order it in, so it'll get to you. Like,
what the fuck is the point in a shop?
I know, yeah. This is just fucking
You can't
crazy.
buy anything anymore.
So I says to her,
everywhere's an Argos.
yeah. They all stink. So, but she had blonde hair and she was Eastern European. I think she's probably had a tough enough life. You know what I mean? Think about the time you're getting catcalled if you're blonde in Slovakia, you know? So I says, okay, fair enough. I says this to her though, because she goes, right, so that'll get delivered to you tomorrow. I said, any chance you could just get it delivered to the store? I'll come collect it. Right?
Because I'm not in my house a lot.
Yes.
I always think that about shit.
Yeah.
I'm often getting stuff delivered to the petrol station around the corner on Amazon. There's Amazon lockers.
That's right.
Good shit.
So I says to her, any chance you get it delivered here? She's like, oh no, you can't do that. And I was like, well, why can't you do that? That doesn't seem like a thing you should, like, that shouldn't be a roadblock.
Yeah.
She says, no, we can't, it'll get delivered to your house tomorrow. So I says, okay, fine, that's all right. So tomorrow, and I was going to see like fucking Dan Tiernan in live at the Apollo the next day. So I was like, all right, we'll see what time. She's like, you'll get an email from the DPD, they'll do it. I was like, DPD, these fucking slugs. So anyway, I says, fine. Anyway, so I get an email the next day.
Between,
and it says,
it'll arrive between 8 and 8 or some shit like that.
I'm telling you, it says 6:45 and 7:45. So 6:45 and 7:45. It's going to arrive like that evening. And they told me in the store, they'd be like, oh, it'll be before 2 o'clock anyway. And I was like, all right. So anyway, 6:45, 7:45. This is no joke. I know what absolute pieces of dog shit these people are dropping things off. So I'm out with fucking Dan Tiernan, all these guys, fucking Ratio, everyone after Dan's live at the Apollo. They're having a few pints and stuff. Now, I still have a bit of a tummy bug, so I'm not like drinking or anything. But I literally say, look, lads, I have to head off. They're like, why? I was like, I'm getting a delivery to my house and I just need to be there because these fucking slugs they'll just fuck it up, right? So anyway, so I actually leave a social engagement to go fucking be there for this phone arriving to my fucking house, right? So anyway, I get back to the house and I'm literally, this is how trepidatious I am about these cunts bringing the phone. I leave the door of the living room open. My fucking front door is right there. No sound on, nothing. The first sound, there's no way I'm not going to hear when this person comes. I'm here. I literally sit there, not listening to them, and I'm reading a book. Zero sound. All I have is my laptop there and I refresh it to let me know when the delivery is going to be there. So anyway, keeps telling me, it's like, you're 83 of 134 deliveries. The delivery driver is half an hour away. I says, all right, fine, whatever. Anyway, then I refresh it. It's half an hour later. It just says the same thing. I'm like, all right. Then I refresh it. Now it's gone past the time that I was supposed to deliver the fucking thing, right? So I'm like...
And you've missed out on valuable pint time with the boys.
Valuable pint time, valuable...
Exciting pint time as well.
Exciting, fun. Like
a friend's great achievement. He's reached the pinnacle of TV stand-up in the UK. That's amazing.
That's right. Triumphant. There was cocaine being delivered. I wasn't going to do it, but it would have been nice to see. So... you know, it was good times were happening. You know what I mean? It was Paris in the 20s. You know, Caligula.
No, was the cocaine being delivered between 6:45 and 8:45? Was it DPD as well?
I think it was DPD also, brother. So anyway.
They're all at the pub refreshing a laptop.
Yeah.
Turn the sound off.
Yeah.
They're all reading books.
Everyone at the pub reading books, no sound.
Looking at the door.
Yeah.
Delivery.
They're all reading the book Killing Thatcher by Rory O'Carroll. Every single person in the pub. So anyway, I'm sitting there waiting and I keep refreshing just to see when the delivery's coming. So then finally it says, okay, sorry, the delivery is late. The driver will be with you shortly, right? Now, I've already been now sitting down waiting here for an hour and 20 minutes. It didn't come in the hour it said it was going to come. So I'm like, fuck's sakes, I can't relax. I'm like, just this fucking guy, just come with my fucking thing. So anyway, I'm there reading, I'm refreshing again. You'll be with you shortly. Refresh again, comes up. Sorry, we missed you today. This is we tried to take. I was like, no, you didn't.
Yeah.
No, you didn't come to the door. I've been by the door.
Very few things anger me more than this.
Well, I've been by the door. You didn't come.
I was in all
day. I've been sitting here like a fucking lemon. I fucking forewent a cozy time of pints and possible nose candy with the boys. I've been sitting here like a spastic reading Killing Thatcher waiting for you. And you've not come. And now you've told me that I've missed you. I haven't missed you.
You missed me.
You missed me. Now I've no phone. I'm going to fucking Southport tomorrow at 2 o'clock. And I'm going to have to buy another phone because I'm going to be gone for 5 days. You stupid cunts. I need a phone. So now I have to buy a phone anyway. So now you've not delivered the phone. I'm not getting a phone. Even though I paid for a phone, which is £500. And I have to buy another phone. You fucks. You fucking cunts. So anyway, I tries to get onto DPD, the people. And anyway, I'm onto some fucking cunt of a chatbot called Roy.
Yeah. You're talking to AI?
I'm talking to AI Roy. And let me tell you, this fucking cunt. And I am reaming him out. Even though I know he's AI, I'm absolutely like, you fucking pieces of shit. And Roy is like, I'm sorry, we couldn't help you. Which you think, fuck you, you're not sorry, Roy. Like,
you don't have the capability of remorse.
I said, let me talk to a human being. I did, I wrote that in. Let me talk to a human being right now, Roy. And Roy was like, I'm sorry, but we cannot at this time. You fucking piece of shit. We should have never let you live. The AI scum. So anyway, I'm furious. I go to bed. I'm talking with a head full of wasps, just so angry. Because in my head, I'm like, there's no way this phone gets delivered to me tomorrow before I have to go to Southport, which would possibly mean another 5 days. I'm not going to be back till Sunday. Another 5 days without a phone. So now I'm like, I need to buy a phone. So I'm like, I want a refund now. Give me a refund. You didn't do your thing. So anyway, I says, do you know what I'll do? I'll go into the Tree store as soon as it opens. And I have my receipts and everything. And I'll be like, listen, lads, here's what happened. I bought the phone from you. Phone didn't arrive. I've paid this money. Now I have to leave. I'm gone for 6 days. There's no phone. So I'm going to have to buy another phone. So I want a refund for this phone because it didn't arrive. Now, I might as well have been talking to a fucking, drunk chicken as this fucking manager in the Tree store. So I says to him, listen, because first time, some fucking turnip comes up to me and he's just like, can I help you, mate? And I was like, listen, I bought this the other day. And then he's like, I'll get the manager. Like, he just knew.
Back down. He's like, this isn't one for me. It's above my pay grade immediately.
Fuck, mate, I'm on 950 now. It's just, I'm not dealing with this fucking energy. So I said, I'll get the manager. I was like, you get the manager, right? So anyway, manager comes out and he's like this fucking American fucking guy. And he's like, hey man, what's going on? I was like, don't you hey man me. And I was like, listen, I've paid for this thing. It didn't arrive. They said it arrived. It didn't. I sat there by the door, killing Thatcher. I was reading, no noise. They didn't come. I sat there an hour and a half. Then they said, we tried to deliver it. They didn't try. They weren't even there. You know what I mean? He's like, it's okay, man. Relax, dude. And then I was like, right, can I just please get a refund for the thing? I need to buy another phone. I'm going to be gone for 6 days. I can't do the fucking thing. He's just like, I'm afraid we can't help you here in this store with that. I was like, well, what store could they help me in, considering this is the store I bought the phone? Was it not? I bought the phone from you. I didn't buy it from DPD. I didn't buy it from anyone. I gave you the money.
My contract is with you.
With you. You said you'd get me the phone. He's like, but the problem is the supplier sent it to the bank and the thing and the guy with the code. I said, what? And so I swear to God, I was like, so what can you do for me? He's like, well, you see, man, we can't. He's like, I can put you through to customer service. What? Are you fucking joking? And no joke, he's just like, let me call customer service. Now, so he calls customer service. It takes him, of course, 15 minutes to get through to
I love that even their own staff, it takes forever to get the customer service.
Yeah, but just get through to fucking...
Why is he just phoning the number? That's crazy.
It is crazy. Because he has no idea.
He has to talk to Roy as well.
Yeah, he has to talk to Roy. But he nobody knows how to do anything. Nobody wants to take responsibility for anything. So I get put through to this, just a lady in India. I'm now talking to a lady in India, right? Who's actually sitting in Mumbai or somewhere right now. And I've been this is where the manager of the store, where I bought the phone, the physical store, has put me on to a 20-year-old.
You're in the store.
I'm in the store, and he's put me on to a 20-year-old in India. That's right. I'm now talking to a 20-year-old in India about this. I think she'll have a better idea. Do you think she had a better idea? No, she hadn't. So I bought this. Phone. She's like, "Did you buy it online?" No, I bought it in the store. And she's like, "Can you go into the store?" I'm in the store. Would you believe I'm in the store? She's like, "You're in the store right now?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm in the store." And then she's like,
"The call's coming from inside the house."
It's coming from inside the house. I'm in the store. So now she's confused. She's like, "Did you talk to the manager?" He put me on to you.
This is his phone.
This is his phone. He said I should talk to you about this. He thought we should outsource this one to fucking Asia. The phone I bought here 2 nights ago. Let's see what Asia has to say about it. What the fuck? So I'm on to her then, and she's like, she's like, it's the craziest shit. So
and
now,
she didn't solve this.
What the fuck was she? How could she solve it? She's like, she's like, "Do you have the delivery code?" I was like, "What's that now? Do you mean the tracking number for DPD?" She's like, "No, the delivery code." And I was like, "Well, I have the tracking number from DPD and I've got my receipt here. But there's nothing that says delivery code." She's like, "We'll need the delivery code." There is no delivery code. I don't know what you're talking about. I have the tracking number from DPD. Can you check? Also, by the way, DPD, apparently an impenetrable fortress of knowledge. There's no way to know anything.
Even if they are your chosen shipping provider.
If they're your chosen shipping provider, you cannot, I swear to God, I literally said to the manager in the store, "Can you just find out what time it's going to be delivered today?" "I'm afraid we can't do that." And it's like, "But can I ask you why? Why? How? What the fuck are you talking about? You have me talking to some fucking graphic design student from fucking Bangladesh here about what? Why? Why would I be talking to her ever? This is fucking insane. Insane." Right?
Can I point out that there's been very few points in this story where I think you're in the wrong?
I mean, that's amazing. But this is, I have rarely been as fucking angry. You should have seen it, because at one point I had to go back down to get and I'm talking to you, it is just a confederacy of dunces in this tree store.
How long are you in the 3 store at visit number 2?
First part, probably 40 minutes. Then I have to go home, get my laptop, come back in.
With whatever number they're
I'm no
saying
joking.
they have.
Yeah. I have to go back, get this number off my...
It's insane that manager didn't have that number right there.
Oh, no.
Being like, "Oh, there's a transaction, there you go."
When I tell you this lad was one, if there was work in the bed, he'd sleep on the floor. This was one of the most useless individuals. And he's their number one guy in here.
He's the top dog.
He's the king of this castle.
Yeah.
This guy. He's the master of this domain. So I'm in here. He comes. I have to go back. So I have to go back and get my laptop. On the way back, I just stop into Lidl to get a roll and eggs and just I'll have a quick breakfast.
Ham.
Yeah, and some of my beloved ham. No, luckily I've had a lot of ham in my fridge, so I was all right for ham. But when I was in the queue in Lidl, just
I feel
with
like the ham is the only thing that's holding you together right now.
Lad, without that ham, and I had a ham roll before I came up here just to fucking get me level. But I
just want to get well,
lad. When I was in the queue anyway for the fucking thing, and this lady, she couldn't have known, but I was just there kind of waiting on it, and then I was just kind of beside, so she was here and I was here.
This is Lidl,
and I was here, she was here, and she just turns to me and she's like German or something, and she's like, "Excuse me," she's like, "Excuse me, don't be trying to go ahead of me." I said, "What?" I was so riled up. I goes, "What?" She's like, "I don't want you going ahead of me." I goes, "Fuck off." Fuck off. And then she just literally was just like, "Oh, like that." I was like, "I don't need that."
Just picked the fight with the wrong fella.
She couldn't. I was a tip. She's literally like there's steam coming out my ears. Yeah. And she's like, "Don't be trying to... Why would I be trying to get ahead of you in the queue? Why the fuck would I give a fuck about that? There's fucking 10 machines. Shut the fuck up, you little German cunt. You little fucking bitch. I was so angry. I can't even express. This is literally 2 hours ago as well. This is all absolute happening today, and I've no phone. I'd go into some stupid. No, I bought some stupid little Siemens. I had to just buy I have a little block phone now.
Siemens? You have a Siemens phone?
It's not a Siemens phone. You know that's a type of phone. It's a type of fucking company. What time are we on over there?
We've done the public. We can continue talking about Mike's breakdown on the Patreon.
Oh, fuck's
Come see us on tour. Mike has to go to fucking Southport, so we're going to do a Patreon very, very quickly, but we have to chop this right here and now. So all our tour dates are online, all that shit. It's all in the description.
MikeRiceComedy.com. Get the tour. Come on to the tour.
The Buy Mike a New Phone tour.
Yes. I've had such a
He'll
bad
probably
day.
make it to most of the dates.
Yeah.
Patreon.com/parenting. See you over there for the rest of
yes.
I think Mike might kill himself.
I will. Someone's gonna die. Everyone can't live after today. That's a fact. All right.
See you there.
Bye.